Hey guys, how's it going? Let's see, it's probably about roughly January before I last stepped in, and personally, I'm liking these once a month drop-ins. If you guys don't mind out there, it prevents me also from getting into the weeds on a weekly webinar when it's very difficult to cover that on a weekly basis, and sometimes some of the short-term trades require a lot more attention, which we of course do on Elliott Wave Trader on a daily basis. Just a matter of housekeeping before I jump into this chart. If you guys are in New York and during the March 8 and 9 period, I'll be speaking at the Trader Expo. This is my next talk, and I'll be talking on Bitcoin and my roadmap for the next year or two. And I'll do a deep dive in GBTC. The Trader Expo crowd is largely a stock and futures options trading crowd. Really, not much crypto traders hardcore there. So I've done a lot more speaking on GBTC as an outlet for those folks interested in crypto but not interested in setting up the traditional crypto accounts. So I'll be there. If you decide to do a trial on Elliott Wave Trader, we'll also do a members meeting, and I believe you can join that. I don't have a place and time at that point in time, but the team will be there. Avi will be there, and some of our other staff. If you want to meet all of us for a quick drink and some appetizers, we'll set that up. Still in process. Anyway, so I thought I would zoom us way out on our chart here, which is really no different from the chart I've been keeping way back into 2019 as we bottomed at 3,000. It's just some new details that come from price action based on the Elliott wave theory. The main events that we have here is I have a probable. It's a little bit more improbable in my point of view. I believe we've hit levels to signal that we've got a top in the one of the three here locally and are now in a correction. Now, I want to be really clear. Although I count support here for this wave 2 at 7125, or at least the ideal, we ideally don't breach that. We breach it a little bit, but we are invalid if we break low 6410. Now, that doesn't mean that I'm expecting us to go that low at all. In fact, I see a lot of reasons when I look at the entire market for this correction to be quite shallow. In fact, it's even potential that we've finished, but I do not have the price action off the low to suggest that the low is likely in. Okay, it can happen. We can go in what's called a diagonal upward, which is a really choppy pattern. But at least just talking about probability, I don't think the local bottom is in yet at this point in time. In fact, I would love to see us at least hit 8,700 to really get a very healthy wave 2. So sometimes in cryptos we get really shallow ones. It's very typical for action to retrace at least 382 of the wave 1 and more likely 618, which is all the way down at 7740. Okay, so none of that is target so much as lines in the sand, if you will. As long as we're above 6125, I am sticking to my entire game plan, which I've been in for about a year and a half now. And this is just simply the next phase. Now, something else I want to point out, if you followed me a long time, I've been long looking for Bitcoin to head over towards the 127 level. In fact, we had some argument for seeing much higher than that, but right now 127 is the ideal target based on the wave 1, which was in 2019, and this wave 2 bottom. That's the projection for the next major top before we have a potentially multi-year, at least multi-month bear market again. Okay, so 127 is what I get. Now, unfortunately, where we've hit in terms of level here on this one of the three, which is not quite the 382 extension at 1139, we've only seen about 10.5 or 10.6, something like that. That lowers these targets, and so you can see up here on my targets up here that I've got a box now, and the lower range of the box is where the typical hit is after seeing the one of the three where it is now. So we'll have to see how that goes. We certainly can re-extend as we move up, and we don't see those until we get into this 2 to 3 here. We typically start to see notes of extension, but right now I've got to lower my nominal target until I see a bit more. So that's key, which potentially puts the next major level here at the 28K level. Okay. So basically, in terms of tactic, it's pretty simple to me right now. It's already showing its signs of a very choppy wave 2 correction. I have no interest in trying to short this. Obviously, that would be you got to be extremely nimble. You've got to be a scalper, and I really personally excel in the multi-week string trading personally. Simply using this correction to get my long trade larger. And I would love to see down the 7,000 region, get it as large as possible, because I'd be very close to my stop. But that isn't guaranteed at all. But nonetheless, I'll be using this to get larger. Just a little tidbit, little tactical tidbit. When we start to extend, when we start to get a bottom off of this wave 2, what I typically do is I put one point of the fib up at the current price, and I put the 0 point on the 2, and I don't want to see that third wave pass through the 50%. That's something I share with my subscribers. It works in scalping. Actually, it works in large scale third waves more than anything, and will keep me in this trade all the way up, because there's always potential that we see a B wave here come back down into the 2s. I mean, there's a lot of things that can happen as long as we're down here low. Now, by the time we reach through, if our target's low here, it would be the 618, but 618 to 8786, 16,000 to 20,000, we should really be swinging towards 30,000 and higher. Okay, so just based on Fibonacci's levels here. So by the time we're through there, I don't want to see the breach of that 50% for sure. And I'd be cautious if I get a breach of that 50% level, if we got it lower as well. So I'd like to see that happen. Again, as soon as we have a confirmed impulsive reaction to support we have here for our 2. Okay, so that's the game plan, and it may be, we'll see how it goes. If I have something to share between now and then, I will, but it may be that I'm not on YouTube for a few months, because they're just taking advantage of that swing trade. If it continues to play out, and if I come on, it may be that, Houston, we've got a problem, or we've arrived at those key levels at the 28,000 level, and we need to see if we are showing signs of a top or a sign of an extension through to the next level, which is around 40K. Okay, so I'm not sure I'll be visiting YouTube between now and then, because I'd rather not come on if I have really not a whole lot to say. So just check out, so right now, just look at support at 7,125. Keep your target at 28 for now, and we'll just see how that goes. And scale in as we get lower, and scale out as we get closer to the target, and then maintain that stop and ride that stop up as we go. It's really simple trading when we're in the heart of a third, as we call it now, the wave speak. So, all right, guys, I wish you guys the best. And again, if you're in New York and on the 8th and 9th of March, please pay me a visit. I'd love to meet you, and we'll talk to you guys soon.